Good morning, my love. I don't have a nickname for you. It's just Vicky or Mom. Mom's the nickname. I know it's horrible. Does that make
That
me?
you call me Mom?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's weird.
and the same as Nana and Pa. But it's just because of our kids, just
No, it's weird.
nonstop. Mom, mom, mom. So your name has morphed into Mom.
It's
I know. I tried like yesterday. I tried actually to call you Vicky.
oh,
Yeah, I called up the stairs. I hollered up, and I said, "Vicky." There's a phrase I'm starting to we're going through belief systems. One of the phrases that I never thought was off was forgive and forget. And I see how off that is now. And it's a belief system that lots of us hold dear to. You just got to forgive and forget. And then our program of recovery says we come into a place of neutrality and our darkest moments can be the brightest light for others. And I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Like, because yeah, it's not about forgetting. It's about how do we serve other people with our darkest moments. Hi, Darlene. What is good today? Another thing is, so is this statement, does this statement, is this a right or wrong belief system statement? There are no dumb questions.
I would say that that's correct.
Is it?
But you disagree.
I don't know. I bet
you know why? Because you're very judgmental.
No, I always say that there is no dumb questions because somebody challenges my questions all the time. Oh, that's just a stupid question. And I'm like, no, there's no stupid questions, just stupid answers. And it feels good when I say that. So I'm challenging that belief system. But I had a question this week, and I would say it's the question of the week thus far, from a little friend of mine. And the question was, do I wax my head? I wax my head? And I was like, no, I don't.
Like to pull the hair out, right? She doesn't need to make it shiny.
I don't think she was asking, do I wax it like my,
yes.
Remember once we waxed my back? We're live. I shouldn't talk about
Darlene
that.
got
that was horrible.
Badge for being top fan.
Top fan, Darlene.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Wear that badge. Remember we waxed my back. I tried to get earwax, like wax to wax my ears because the hair falls down.
When John gets on a topic, he just keeps going.
When you get older,
there's no changing direction.
Hair goes in different places. No, I tried to get that cold wax. That's stupid. It just causes so much pain. So you think the question was, do I wax like, or do I like shine my head like with like car wax? So yeah, now I don't really even know the question, but definitely I do not wax my head like ripping wax. That's horrific. Like that's like some ancient torture. And no, I don't wax it either way. Either way, I don't wax it. Nor do I wax my car. I just trust the elements. So
Thanks for clearing that up. I was really curious, and everybody was wondering.
Are there dumb questions?
Yep.
Or only dumb answers?
There are dumb answers.
There are dumb answers. No, I know that. But is that a false belief system? Is that there's only stupid answers? There's no stupid questions? Because I heard that in school, like as a little kid.
There's no stupid questions. If you have a question, you should ask it.
The teacher would always tell me, no, John, there's no stupid questions. They don't want you to feel
shy about asking a question.
They don't use the word stupid in school. Dumb, I think. All right. If you have any thoughts on this topic, I would love your feedback. Is this a false belief system? I don't really know. All right. What day is it? 14. Your read. Let's get into our meditation of the day.
Sponsorship.
Oh, sponsorship.
What's it all about is the title of a booklet available to any member of the 12-step program. This is a new thought to many people who first come into 12-step program. We may doubt that we're strong enough in the program. We may think we haven't time to take on somebody else's troubles. Being a sponsor is a great adventure, but it's more than that. It is a great education in human relations and in spiritual growth. Once we start, we're amazed to find how much we have absorbed of the Al-Anon program. And from this personal interchange and sharing, the sponsor often gains even more than the sponsored. Today's reminder: it is not only the newcomer who benefits from having one particular person to look to for guidance. Even the old timer in the program may find that another member with different and perhaps better insights can be of immense help. As one member put it, came not from books, but from mutual caring and thinking out loud with someone you felt comfortable with. Quote, I would strongly recommend sponsorship to anyone in Al-Anon or AA or any 12-step program. It opens a whole new area of mind and heart. It's a big job and you have to grow in it. I am certain, have a lot to say. You always have a lot to say. You have very
I was gonna say
opinionated
I have
opinions.
so much on this topic.
Yep.
And especially like even like recently, I grow in my understanding.
Mm-hmm.
I know 16 years ago when I was at a treatment center at a homeless shelter, I knew that
Why'd you get kicked out of your
I didn't trust it.
treatment center?
No, I almost got kicked out for not having a sponsor.
For not having a sponsor.
And I latched onto one of the counselors there because I knew he was one of us. I could tell, like, you know, wherever I go, I can feel out my people. And so I used him a lot. Like I would go to him, I would sit at his, ask questions. And one night I got offended at a AA meeting. They told me that there was no crosstalk. I didn't even know what that meant. And I was like, man, if somebody interrupts me like that where I come from, I'm gonna punch you in the throat. Like I was so mad and hurt. And like I was like, you know that mad that you get when you're like, there's no, like, I'm not gonna punch anybody, but I'm gonna cry. Like that kind of mad. I walked all the way home so mad to the treatment center, and he was working. So I went and talked to him, and he's like, oh, you should talk to your sponsor about that. He's like, yeah, great idea. And he's like, you don't have a sponsor. I was like, oh, no, I haven't found one yet. And he goes, well, if you don't find one by tomorrow evening, then I'm going to have to excuse you from the program because it's mandatory you have one. And I was like, well, I've only been here 3 months. And he goes,
3 months.
well, 3 months and 1 day is what I'm going to give you. And I went to the next meeting and my hands are sweaty. My throat was dry. And I asked a man for help. And that was the beginning of sponsorship. And so then sponsorship to me is when you lead somebody through a program of action. That's our job. And so how do I be a sponsor? Well, I truly believe that I have to have a message of weight and depth that has transformed my life and a recipe that has guided me to do that. And then out of that, because it says in step 10 and 11, we live those steps. Out of that, the byproduct is I want to pass on the message. So many people that I've worked with is they just pass on the message. Do they have a relationship with God in step 10 and 11? Not necessarily, but they start doing the work of like, oh, you got to pass on the message. You got to have sponsees. You got to do all this stuff. And I'm not doing it as a byproduct out of my relationship with God. And then recently, I've met these people in the United States of America, opened up my world of recovery. And it's like the people that I've found and starting to get to know them and having a new sponsor in the last 2 years down there, they work with hundreds of people. Like it blows my mind of like, and I could try to intellectualize that they're retired, but they're not. They have businesses, they're CEOs, and they work with tens and dozens and hundreds of people at a time. It like blow.
Well, that's because they're not sitting listening to people's problems.
Yeah, exactly.
And trying to give them advice. That is not sponsorship.
And so the way the sponsor had left me off was, here's your amends. This is how you do your amends. These are the cue cards. We kind of wrestled through some of them, and he goes, yeah, let me know when you start making amends and if you need help, because when you hit the amends, now you have the relationship with God as directed. So make your amends as directed by the director. My sponsor's not the director. And so that was really freeing of like, oh, are we done? Like, what? And then in recent times, like I still meet with him once a week just because we grew in our relationship, but we talk more about other, like the traditions, or we're going through a different part of the big book, or we're talking about our step 10 and 11. We talk about our prayer and meditation time. So it's been really uplifting in that way, because that relationship kind of shifted a little bit.
So from this reading, what are you going to take to meditate on through your day?
Is what is motivating me to be a sponsor? Because if it's not my relationship with God and the message that's transformed my life, then I'm sponsoring out of selfishness. And so I have had a new kindling, a new spark of sponsoring people and meeting with people, because it doesn't feel like this long drawn out thing. It's like, here's the process, here's the treasure map. Let's go find the treasure. Yay, you found the treasure. Okay, off, little bird. and I think that's a great way of doing it. So yeah, learning and growing in that, of like, what's motivating me to pass on the message. The answer needs to be my relationship with God, and the byproduct is step 12. There's so much more to talk about on this topic, but give me one nugget.
I don't have anything to
I
add.
think your nugget was that we're not bankers, that we're not relationship advisors, that we're not punching bags, we're not puke toilets. I think that's a good way to have a relationship, because you're taking somebody to the treasure with a treasure map.
I think that there's that's exactly. I'm not there. I don't have trauma. I can't help someone in that way. But when I've done the program, when I've worked the steps, when I'm doing step 10 and 11, and I have a relationship with God that's come through this program, and I know how to like take someone through this work, that is my relationship with them, is to take them through this work.
Because it's not a natural thing to do. And if I do it out of selfishness, then I do one person at a time, maybe two, and I make it about me and about, this is how we have to do it. This is what I need from you. God, and you said this yesterday, God never changes what I'm doing. He changes what I want to do. So it's not natural that I sit with people throughout a day or throughout the week and do it for free. And it's like, but God changes my heart to want to do that. And I get excited about it. So anyway, I got to meet some people today. All right. Yeah, that's all I got.
Thanks for joining us.
Keep the peace, be of good behavior, and we will see you tomorrow.